Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 82nd filming of the Unnamed Cop Show. Happy February to you. I want to apologize for Aaron's hair. It's very windy outside today. And John's actually, who we're going to introduce to you shortly. He has the windblown look, and Jim just has his cap on.
I knew.
With us today, as usual, is Jim Knabb, and Jim is the
Crime Prevention Officer.
for the City of Desert Hot Springs Police Department, but his official title is the Community
Resource
Specialist. Thank you.
Hi.
And Aaron Begley from the Senior Center. And we have a special guest with us today. His name is John, and he's from the Senior Center as well, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about volunteering. Hello, John.
Hi.
John.
Are you happy to be here?
Oh, wonderful.
John, do you have one of your jokes you want to lead us off
Oh,
with to get the show going?
You know me, Dan.
Go ahead with
It's
it.
a rope goes into a bar, and
A what?
a rope, piece of rope, goes into the bar.
Goes in the bar.
And says to the bartender, have a drink. Bartender says, we don't serve rope. So rope goes outside and comes back in and says, I need a drink. He said, I told you I don't serve rope. Rope goes back outside and ties himself in a knot and fluffs up his little hairdo a little bit. Comes back in and bartender says, I told you, are you a rope? He says, no, I'm afraid not.
And that's typical of what we get from John on a daily basis. I'm afraid not.
But they love it.
I want to start with the most wanted today, because this one's particularly special to us, because everyone at our agency, I think at one time or another, has arrested this guy, and I know all of us have chased him. Yesterday, or 2 days ago, we chased him again. He's been in custody several times, and he gets released somehow each time. Well, he's back out again. He is wanted for violation of probation relating to several different crimes. His name is Anthony Napoles, Anthony Minjarez Napoles, Napoles. He's male Hispanic, 5'8", 145 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, and you'll have a picture up on the screen of Mr. Napoles. Anthony, we will catch you again, like we have in, I believe, several times over the last 6 or 7 months. So if you want to come turn yourself in and save yourself the trouble, that'd be great. So I just wanted to lead off the show with Mr. Napoles today because he's so special to us, and we want him in custody. So if you know where he's at, call us anonymously, and we'll chase him down again. Jim, you have something for us. You have a stupid criminal.
I try to
Of course.
find some. Of course, it's just 2013, so we haven't had a lot of activity, but I have one or two for you.
Why don't you lead us off with one of those?
All right. This one's out of Sydney, Ohio, and there, apparently a pocket dialing burglar accidentally dialed 911 while burglarizing a house.
No way.
So, doing our due diligence, us law enforcement that is, went out to investigate the call.
The 911 hang up.
911 hang up. And while we were there in the house, because they had found a door or a window open, his cell phone went off again because he had a low battery, and they found him hiding in the bathroom. So,
Nice.
yeah, so he was charged with breaking and entering.
That's a stupid criminal.
That's a dumb criminal.
I have one that I heard about on the radio. I'm going to try to get this right and try not to offend anyone. Guy books himself into jail. Okay, so what happens with some of these people who go to jail a lot? They're tasked with bringing in contraband to the jail. So in other words, they're given a phone call, say, hey, you need to turn yourself in for this warrant, but we want you to bring us something into the jail, right? Well, this particular guy was tasked with bringing in a cell phone. So he did what a lot of inmates do.
These are friends of his, not
Yes.
law enforcement tasking them with this.
Correct. Some friends said, okay, if you're coming to jail, we need you to come in, and when you get here, we want a cell phone functioning so we can have a cell phone in jail behind the bars. So his duty was to bring in a cell phone. Well, they are strip searched before they go up to housing, and they prepare for that by secreting the cell phone. Okay? So he had his cell phone secreted, as many criminals do when they're desperate to get something in jail.
Hidden.
The only thing he forgot to do was turn off the ringer. He received a phone call while he was being strip searched,
Seems to be an epidemic.
and the deputy heard the phone ringing, and asked him what the noise was, and they eventually realized what he had secreted. So he didn't get his cell phone. I heard that on the radio just this week.
That's too funny to come up with a witty.
He got a cell phone call. What a bad time to get a phone call, right? I'm sure there's a lot of jokes that could stem from that.
Yes,
But
exactly.
we'll just let those go for now.
They just-
I before we get to Aaron and the senior center, I want to talk about our town hall meeting is coming up on the 14th of March, and this is the annual meeting where all the officers and city staff gets together. Last year we did it at the high school, and over 300 of you attended. This year it's going to be at the Health and Wellness Center in the gymnasium. We're going to have our town hall meeting. All the cops are going to be there. All the command staff and city staff is going to be there to talk to you folks about what's going on in the city, public safety wise. And it gives you an opportunity to come and meet us, and we'll serve food and refreshments and such. So it's March 14th at 6 p.m. at the Health and Wellness Center. Again, stop on by, introduce yourselves to us, let your concerns be known, and just come on by. It's a good way to spend an hour, hour and a half, and so we hope that you can be there. And again, a free food. So there is free food there. So try to come by and visit us. Aaron, you have John with us today, and also you have some things to talk about going on at the senior center. So here's your spot, the
Okay.
senior moment.
Thank you. Today we have brought you John Spratley. He is a dedicated volunteer at the Senior Center, and we could not do the amazing work we do there without him. He helps with everything, and we just enjoy him to pieces. So brought him on to be introduced into the community. And John, can you tell us what it means to you to volunteer your time?
Well, what it means to me is I'm disabled, and when I can help somebody and see them smile, it's from my heart, and it makes me feel good inside. It's like medication. If you're home and you're sitting in front of the TV and you have something to do, come down and be a volunteer. It'll make you feel good inside to help people do things.
I have to just share a story how John and I met. I was in my office and early when I got the job to manage the center, and he walks in and he is just friendly and loud and just saying hi to everybody. So I march out of my office and I just walk up to him and said, "Who are you? Who are you?" And he's like, "I volunteer here." I'm like, "Okay, love the energy." And from then on, he's so dynamite. So John, what do you do at the Senior Center?
Well, basically, you name it, I do it. Mop the floor, help the seniors, talk to them, tell them jokes, give them coffee, sign them in to the lunch program. But one thing that I really is like my baby is the bingo. We have bingo twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays, from 12:30 to 2 o'clock. It costs you $1 to play. You get 7 games really. We play for small prizes that we get at the 99-cent store, and we have gift cards for the grocery stores or someplace at the blackout prize. So
If people wanted to donate or give back, how can they do that for bingo?
just come in and see Aaron or Lisa or me and bring in your donations, or if you contributions, whatever you want, and we'll make sure it goes for the bingo prizes. And if you want to come and play bingo, come about 12:30, and you'll see Trudy. You give her $1 and she'll give you the game, and we play till 2 o'clock.
Thanks, John. How was it being on TV?
A little nervous, but I'm okay.
I don't even believe that. Thank you for everything you do.
You're welcome.
Okay.
What else is going on at the senior center?
We had our second annual senior prom on Valentine's Day, and we crowned the 2013 prom king and queen. And so our king for this year is Keith Scott. He goes by Keeter as a nickname. I wanted to give a shout out to him. And our queen for the year is Betty Wakinakovia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So those are our two special people. We have FSA caregiving support groups are meeting on Thursdays at the Space on Palm Drive. I just wanted to give another shout out because if you are a caregiver and you need some support, this is a wonderful program. They meet on Thursdays at 9 to 11. It's free of charge, and if you want more information, it's 760-820-1430. We have Save the Senior program where we collect donations for seniors in need. We collect air conditionings and fans in the summertime, and right now we are in desperate need of space heaters, even small, but we do want them working and clean. But we do give those out to needy seniors free of charge. So if you have something to donate, please come to the senior center and drop those off to us. Birthday party for the month of March will be on March 1st, and that cake is sponsored by AGA Insurance, so we really want to give a shout out to them. They sponsor all of our birthday cakes for the months, and we appreciate that. AARP Mature Driver Training is coming up on March 13th, so come to the center to register for that class. You can get discounts on your insurance, and it's just a good refresher to stay safe on the road. St. Patty's Party at noon on the 15th. Bring your green dessert and have fun with us. And we'll have an Easter bonnet contest on 3/29, free of charge. Just create your bonnet and come and have some fun. I believe that is it.
Okay, thank you. And I wanted to talk to Jim about volunteering as well, because the police department has a great group of volunteers that do a lot of good for us, and we need some more, don't we, Jim?
We do. And just thank you, John.
You're welcome.
We probably don't give our volunteers enough credit often enough. We have a great group of people in Desert Hot Springs that volunteer their time tirelessly, and John is just one of those. We have citizens on patrol that support the police department in various ways. They can block off streets at traffic accidents. They work special events to help with traffic control. If there is usually any special event within the city, they're requesting a citizen on patrol to be there, just to be a president? No?
A president.
Maybe they're a president or a vice president, to be a presence there and try to deter anything from happening. And most of the time, nothing does when they're there, and that's what it's all about. We have internal volunteers in the police department as well that help out in different departments. So we always need citizens on patrol, though, and I'm asking for anybody that has free time, maybe 8-10 hours a month, to go to the city website, www.cityofdhs.org, and take a look at the volunteer application. We do have a community police academy coming up starting March 5th, I believe. It'll be Tuesday nights for 8 weeks. It's free. If you're interested in becoming a volunteer, that's one of the things that we ask, that you go through the class. There's no cost. And I think you'll find it very informative. We have different speakers from the police department, from the district attorney's office, just to talk about what we do and why we do it. You can ask questions and see some of the gear we use, and it's a lot of fun. We end it with a potluck, which is a good thing, and just making friends. So give me a call, and we can talk about that.
How many hours does our volunteers put in a year? Do our volunteers put in a year?
I don't remember the total hours, but I do remember the cost saved based on the state figure, which I think is about $23 or $24 an hour. And it was about $160,000, $180,000 last year in time.
We do have, our front office is staffed by volunteers, and our property room, and they serve they do a great job at our PD. We couldn't function without them. So I'm glad we got that.
We have a couple of cars. We provide the uniforms. We keep you safe. We don't ask you to be confrontational in any way. We can do vacation checks. We have court runs where you're just transporting documents and all kinds of different stuff. And you can meet people, and it's enjoyable.
So we do need your help if you're interested.
And one more thing, we do have a junior police camp over spring break, March 25th, 6th, and 7th, and we have a few openings left. They're filling quickly, so also go to the website or call me if you're interested in sending your 8 to 11-year-old to that. That'll be for 3 days from 9 to 12.
Okay. I got a phone call from someone who wanted us to make the other folks in town aware, and this is an ongoing thing, especially with seniors, that somebody called them and asked them to wire them money to get their nephew out of custody in Mexico. And this is a pretty common scam. no need to call us, no need to report that. Just hang up the phone because your nephew's probably not in custody in Mexico, and don't be sending people money. The other one that came up recently was we actually had a senior send money to someone who said they won the lottery, and they needed to collect the tax money before they were going to send the prize. Folks, you probably didn't win the lottery. Don't be sending money to people you don't know. If you have any questions about anything like that, don't hesitate to call us, and we'll let you know, what we've heard about it and what to do. But don't be sending money to people you don't know. It's just not a good thing, and that's been coming up as it always does. So I wanted to let you know about that. I want to go through. I have another most wanted. I have 3 of them this time, and all of them are really, truly wanted, and we'd like your help. This next one is Jamone. I think it's Rogley, Rougely. His first name is Jamone, spelled Jamone. He's male black. He was born in 94, so he's 18 or 19 years old, 5'9", 135 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, and his crime is burglary, and he is wanted. He has a $50,000 burglary warrant. So any of you know where he can be found, let us know. You can call us. You can be anonymous. We'd like to get him in custody. Jamone, if you're watching, come down, turn yourself in. Many people who have been featured on this show come down to the front desk and turn themselves in. And I heard one the other day come in. And so that was nice to know that they're watching our show as well. Jim, do you have any crime tips, prevention tips for us today?
I would say the number one crime tip that I can keep trying to get out there is to secure your residence as well as you can, particularly your front door and your windows. And you can do that by just checking your strike plate screws in your front door. They shouldn't be a ½ inch. They should be 2.5 to 3 inches long, so that they extend into the stud, which thereby keeps your door from being kicked in, which is one of the popular ways lately to gain access to your house. And also to maybe pin or use a wooden dowel on your windows. Of course, a dog or an alarm works too. So any combination of those things would be helpful.
We're still having daytime burglaries. As many people as we put in custody, like the people we're showing you today, they get back out again and they continue to crime. So keep your eyes and ears open and
Continue to call us.
keep calling us.
Yeah.
Aaron, do you have anything else for us today?
I think we should give a shout out to our viewers. We're approached in the community constantly, and so just hi, everybody. I forget their names.
Yeah. Aaron and I just happened to be eating at Las Consuelas at the same time last week, and the waiter there, his name is Javier, so we have to give a
Javier,
shout out
hi.
to Javier, who watches our show and tells his friends there that he works with what a great city we have and how good the service he gets from the city is. So he wanted us to know that he's very thankful that he lives in Desert Hot Springs and he watches our show and he appreciates the work our staff does. So that was nice. Which leads me to something else. As we go, those of us who are police officers working in this profession, we go out in public, and when we're off duty, we're often in plain clothes. And if you ever see someone who you know is a police officer, try not to shout across the shopping aisle or across the restaurant or across wherever you're at that, hey, you are. In other words, try not to identify your police officer friends as police officers, because what happens, and every year there's terrible stories about someone who get identified as a police officer, and then there's actually somebody who's there to commit a crime who now knows you are a police officer, and instantly our lives are put in jeopardy because we're not prepared for that. And the one story I remember, and it happened several years ago, but it happens often, is an off-duty officer went into a bank, and he was in plain clothes with his family, and someone recognized him and just very friendly said, "How are you doing, officer?" or something to that effect. And there was someone in there to rob the bank, and a shooting ensued from that, and bad things happened. So it's great that if you want to acknowledge us, that's great. We love to see you out and about when we're off duty. Just keep the police officer part out of it and come up to us and maybe talk to us, just person to person rather than shouting across the store, because bad things happen. And it's something you might not think about. I get it I get it quite a bit, and I know those of us in this profession get it quite a bit. And oftentimes it's friendly and there's no harm meant, but try not to identify us as law enforcement officers if we're not in uniform, ready to act. Did that ever happen to you, Jim?
It happens.
And it's tough because immediately when it happens, I look around to make sure that there's nobody. For example, if I put someone on the TV show and they're most wanted and they now know who I am, that's not good for me. So just kind of something that came up to me that I wanted to bring up today, since it happens a lot.
John has something to say.
John,
I'd just like to say that any of you seniors out there, if you want to have a good time, come to Desert Hot Springs Senior Center. I mean, you'll have the best time of your life. You just can't imagine what goes on in that senior center.
You're not alone. Don't be isolated. Come visit us, right?
Right. Come in and visit. Come and see us. Try it. So
good
that's all I
message.
got.
Good message.
I have a gift. I know we're not ending the show,
Not yet. We have lots
Okay.
more.
but it was Valentine's Day and I have some stale candy left over.
That
So-
goes along with your other stale gifts that we get.
Jim, you get one too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I didn't
It's
have
much
one last month. I
appreciated.
felt really bad.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shake it, baby. Be mine.
I didn't pick those.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Another most wanted. As we know, this is the most popular part of our show. So I was prepared today, thanks to Detective Sandoval. He hooked me up with these people. This gentleman's name is Christopher Kissel. You'll see on your screen a fine-looking photo of Christopher. He's 20 years old. He is wanted for burglary. He has a $25,000 warrant. He is 5'8", 120 pounds, brown hair, green eyes, and he is around here somewhere. So Christopher, he's got a stud in his lip, and he doesn't look happy in this photo. He's wanted, and we'd like to put him in custody before anything further happens with him. So those are three good most wanteds.
Yep.
I also want to talk about Christopher Dorner and the havoc he wreaked in Southern California before we close today. But before I do that, Jim, do you have anything else? Stupid criminal number 2.
I have another one. We'll
Go ahead with it.
All right, in Batesville, an officer was driving past a house when he noticed a vehicle parked in back of the house. And it struck him as suspicious. Keep that in mind. So he stopped and got out. As he's walking around to the front of the house, he encountered a man, and he asked him, "What are you doing there?" He saw the car there, and it was registered to a Little Rock address, and so he said he stopped by to pick a few things up for a relative who was out of town for a funeral. The items included jewelry. Unfortunately for the man with the bag, the house belonged to the officer's mother, who was not out of town for a funeral, and the person was promptly arrested. So
Nice.
I guess the moral of that story is
Very stupid.
very dumb.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about the Christopher Dorner incidents. He was the ex-LAPD officer who took 5 years to plan his rampage, promising to kill police officers in his wake. And unfortunately, he made his way to Riverside County. He had already killed 2 people in Irvine. He was driving through Riverside County after being in a shootout with LA officers in the city of Torrance. When he got to Riverside, he found 2 police officers in their police cars at a red light. He got out and started shooting. Fortunately, one of the officers actually survived it. The other officer was killed. His funeral was last week. His name was Michael Crane. He was an ex-Marine. He had 2 children. And if any of you saw the funeral on television and saw his wife speaking, you'll probably never forget it. So Michael Crane, sitting in his police car on routine patrol, gets shot to death by this guy, but he wasn't finished. He went from there to Big Bear, and most of you saw what happened. He was on the loose up there after carjacking a man's truck. There were 2 San Bernardino County Sheriff's officers in the Yucaipa station who decided that they thought that they could go up and help find this guy. Immediately, as soon as they got up there, they ran into Mr. Dorner. They followed his tracks and were ambushed by him. The first officer, Jeremiah McKay, was killed immediately. He was shot several times. He didn't have a chance. His partner was Alex Collins, I want to say. Yes, Alex Collins. Alex took several shots, and he's lucky to even be alive. He's still in the hospital recovering. He will never be the same. You also all saw what happened after that. The officers got him cornered in a house, and the house caught fire, and Mr. Dorner was found inside dead later on that evening. I just wanted to say and point out that Jeremiah McKay was just a deputy. He went to work that day, and he left his family and went to work, just a regular day at work. And he took it upon himself. He wasn't assigned to go up to Big Bear. He took it upon himself to assist up there, and his life was over within a couple hours. He never stood a chance. So I don't know what else to say about that, except I'm glad it's over. If you are of a mind to put people in your prayers, I'd ask you to remember those families. And the funeral for Jeremiah is this coming week. This will probably air after that, but anyway, that happened, and it's sad as heck, and I just want to send my condolences to anyone who knows any of those officers, and I don't really know what else to say about that, other than just appreciate when you find the cops out there and you contact them, just remember that they're putting their lives out there every day, and the more the appreciation they get from the public, the more willing and the better it feels to be out there doing the job we do. So, okay, on that. Anything from anyone else before we close this show on that
Thank you
sad
for
note?
having us.
Thank you guys for coming.
You're welcome.
John.
You're welcome.
Huge addition to our show today.
What's that?
You're a huge addition to our show today.
Thank you.
We love your jokes about the
Rope.
something not what?
Afraid not.
Afraid not.
Afraid not.
love
John seems to think the joke that you told on the last show.
That
you
was your joke, Dan, not mine. You came to me with that joke at the meeting.
Anyway, he's rewriting history, and we're not going to allow that to happen here on my show. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and thank you for everything that you guys do for us out there. And we appreciate that you're watching, and thank you. See you next time.